Hello, and welcome all. This video is kind of a follow-up to my last one, so if you really want to understand the full context of why I'm so worried about the upcoming Avengers movies, I'd go back and watch that video, as I don't want to just be redundant repeating the same points here. So let me just say off the bat here, I'm going to be talking major spoilers, obviously, for Thunderbolts, or as I prefer to call the film, The New Avengers. So, if you haven't seen this movie yet, please, I can't recommend it enough. Not only is it just a great film, like, honestly, it's genuinely like Guardians of the Galaxy level for me. I'm very certain also that the New Avengers will be major players in the upcoming Avengers movies, so you probably should go see it just for that alone. But with that out of the way, let's get into this fantastic post-credits scene. So, the scene starts at Avengers Tower 14 months after the main events of the movie. We get to see great new outfits for most of the main cast. I especially like US agents. I know it looks goofy as hell, but frankly, that's part of why I like it. It brings a bit of that campy comic book feel back to the MCU. Most of the scene, honestly, though, is just them talking, showing you kind of the dynamic, I guess, they'll sort of have in Doomsday. Almost kind of how the Guardians were in Infinity War, I feel like. They're going to be that comic relief team that we cut back to and kind of is part of the heartbeat of the movie. If there's one other thing to note from their conversation, it's that Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Bucky seem to be at odds with this whole New Avengers versus Avengers thing. Like, it seems like Sam is really protective of the Avengers and what that stands for, and rightfully so. He was literally passed the mantle of Captain America, the leader of the Avengers. So it does seem like this post-credits scene is also setting up some conflict for Doomsday between the New Avengers and the Avengers, but I'm really not sure how far that'll go, especially when an incursion starts happening and they need to protect their world. I'm sure they'll band together and stop bickering. Cutting back to the end of the scene here, suddenly Yelena gets a ping from what seems to be some galactic sensors that are made to look for extraterrestrial events, and everyone naturally turns their eyes to look at the screen, and it's revealed that the incoming threat is really the Fantastic Four ship. Assumably, they have them on board, but to be fair, that does go purposely unanswered, so who knows, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bait and switch and actually some other people are on board the ship, or maybe just Herbie's on board the ship. Now would also probably be a good time to note that this entire post-credit scene was filmed on the set of Avengers Doomsday and directed by the Russo brothers. So, in a way, this is honestly our first look at Avengers Doomsday, and man does it feel amazing. With how many throwaway, nothing burgers of post-credit scenes we've had for a while now, this is truly a breath of fresh air. And I kind of find it funny that both the New Avengers and the Marvels had some of the most important post-credit scenes of this era of the MCU, setting up very important things for Secret Wars. But both of them also performed pretty horribly at the box office, which is very unfortunate. But if I'm being honest, the New Avengers post-credit scene, while very cool, on its own doesn't make me feel much more confident about how fast we are moving towards these upcoming Avengers films. But luckily something else happened just the other day that I think will drastically help. It was actually reported 4 days ago at the time of writing this script that Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars have both been delayed in December of 2026 and December of 2027. So in my last video, I brought up how few movies we had between now and Doomsday, but especially Secret Wars, and with this delay confirmation, I'm almost all but certain that we have at least one other Marvel movie come out in between the two big movies. As it stands right now, just counting the movies, not the Disney Plus shows, we have Fantastic Four in July of this year, then Spider-Man Brand New Day all the way in June of next year, then Doomsday that following winter, then currently it would be a full year break between Marvel movies if another one didn't get announced, which would be Secret Wars obviously in December of 2027. Looking at that long gap in particular between Doomsday and Secret Wars, I highly doubt Marvel would only drop one singular movie in all of 2027. That just doesn't make business sense. So then, what would make sense for that summer or spring 2027 slot? Well, I do have a few ideas. One that I think could really help tie up some nice loose ends would be a Doctor Strange 3. Not only is he one of those characters with a post-credits scene that has gone, frankly, nowhere, he also plays around in that multiversal cosmic toy box side of the MCU, and we do need some more time, I feel, dealing with that stuff in a proper way, as I feel Doctor Strange 2, despite its namesake, was a rather dull multiverse film and didn't really do the idea much justice. Another great idea is maybe make that damn Blade movie you've been trying to make for the past 10 years, it feels like. Not only for that poor actor, but also to set him up as somebody to look out for in Secret Wars, because, it'd be nice just to have him around. Or, you could take my idea from my last video and have the Spring 2027 movie be a Secret Wars Part 1, and the December 2027 movie be a Part 2. I'm still holding out for this idea, even if it's not on that type of time scale, because that is a really tight time scale to even for a part 1 and part 2 to make a turnaround, but I just don't think you can do justice to the epic scale of Secret Wars in a singular film. But I mean, hey, what do I know? I don't make movies. At the end of the day, though, all we can really do is wait and see how everything turns out. Marvel is clearly trying to be ambitious with these 2 movies, and that's a great sign. I mean, look at the casting lists, and the fact that they were willing to give more space for the films. It only really fills me more confidence that they finally got things back in order over there at Marvel. But now, if you will excuse me, I need to go shake frantically in the corner for the next week while I wait for Deltarune to come out and take over my entire life. Who knows, maybe I'll end up making a video about Deltarune after its release. I'm sure it'll be the only thing I can think about for a good little bit there. But in the meantime, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this. And if you enjoyed and would love to see more similar content, please leave a like or subscribe, as both help me out greatly at such a small size that I'm at. Also, if this is your first video of mine, I've made a few other videos already, now mostly covering Marvel-related topics, but there's also a really good Zelda video that I highly recommend. It's definitely my best work so far. But enough self-promotion. This has been Hyrule Jester, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.